and out the Red Solo Cup today.
Welcome everybody to the IBN College Football Show. I have with me Chris Patrick Leak.
I can't. Hey, first of all, it's Jordan Reed, sir.
Yo, you cutting the sleeves off of that is everything that Florida embodies.
Yeah, because this is my favorite Florida sweatshirt, and it's.
God.
I shrunk the sleeves on accident in the wash one day because I put it on hot, and I messed it up. This is my home game day sweatshirt, and I messed it up.
My God, man, we don't have any views now because of you're scaring everybody, man. You need to put those water pistols away. Can I rename you? Can I edit name? Yes.
Am I going to Chris Leak?
Oh man.
Treon Harris. Actually, no, don't put me as that.
Water Pistol Pat.
I hate you. I hate you, Nichols, so much.
That is great.
I hate you, Nichols, so much.
Oh man. Hey yo. People better be careful, man, out here in these streets, bro.
Hey.
I don't think I can add everyone.
Hey, I'm going full Florida on this show, guys. The cutoff hoodie and the Red Solo Cup. Let's do this.
Oh my God.
It's the third weekend of September. Let's do it.
I gotta log into my I gotta log into a burner and add everyone. Can I do that? Can I even do that?
Got him stuck.
Yeah, man. I don't know what happened. You know, I did that. I thought I did a good interview and everything was cool. And then next thing you know, like
you say you posted one joke that got too many ha-has on it.
I don't even know if
Oh, you know what it was? Bro? I bet it was Maurice Athey, because you know he's posting pictures out here looking like he steals catalytic converters. I bet it was him. He out here snitching.
I can't add everyone on here. Hold on, let me do Ronnie, see if he'll get people on here. Anyway, it don't matter. We out here. Let's see. So yeah, did not have. Well, I had an outline. Believe it or not, I had an outline, and I left it at work. So we are going to wing this thing.
We gonna hit it with the recap right quick.
Yeah, I mean, what is the recap? Was there anything to? I didn't think there was anything that. I mean, you had a decent call on who was it again?
South Alabama, UCLA. You were right on the North Texas UNLV.
Yeah.
Tulane shot up there and slapped the ghost of Bill Snyder right in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say there was one I didn't expect, which was Penn State dismantled Auburn.
Well, I mean, Penn State's defense is good, man. Like
it's good, but I didn't think it was going to be that. Like, it was a 3-point spread.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it was
30.
But I don't know why it was a 3-point spread when
because I mean Auburn got dudes.
Yeah, but Penn State, like they really are a good team. I mean, they're not Ohio State, but Auburn's not Alabama, is what I'm basically saying. And so it's kind of messed up. I think some of that was SEC bias, man. They still be giving the SEC so much love, man.
It was also on the road too. I get it. Like, you know, Auburn's not the easiest place to play, but Jesus, Penn State turned that place into Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, pretty much.
They said that y'all are Temple to us, baby.
First game of the day that we would consider a marquee matchup here. Clemson at Wake Forest. Wake Forest is getting 7. Over under is 55.5. I've been messing with Jamal about it. I think
Yeah, I know.
I've got 3 games that I would put on upset alert. This would obviously be at the bottom of that. But I can see a scenario where Wake Forest could pull it off. They're just gonna have to be able to come up with situations where they keep Clemson in 3rd and longs. I think the weakness still of Clemson is their passing.
Yeah.
So they just have to figure that out. If Clemson's getting 4 to 5 yards on first downs, like every first down play, then they're gonna have trouble.
And the antithesis of Clemson, what you said in the chat earlier, is Wake. The no, it's that Wake Forest RPO passing game. Literally, what Sam Hartman just slings it out there, and what they've got going on with that RPO action, they're kind of like USC light with all offense, no defense type situation. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting, and neither one of them really impressed last week. Like Clemson was very shaky especially in the first half versus Louisiana Tech, and Wake at Liberty. Granted, I know Liberty's good, but I don't know how good. So
yeah, I think sometimes in sports, especially football, people tend to want to like compare the week before, or in boxing there's always this moniker or whatever, fuck it, there's this thing. I can't tell you, I've been drinking anyway. Styles make fights, so like certain teams match up, like certain fighters match up well against other fighters. Same goes with team sports too. Some teams match up better against other teams. Wake Forest struggling with Liberty shouldn't be like a red flag. If they're going against Clemson, they're going to have way more energy against Clemson. They're not going to come out flat. This Clemson will get the best version of Wake Forest. Liberty ain't going to get the best version of Wake Forest on any given week if there's a Clemson behind them. Like we see that all the time. Another case for that would be the Arkansas game. Like, Arkansas's got the Aggies next week. They're playing, like, who are they playing? Are they playing?
Yeah, they're playing Texas A&M this week.
No, but who were they playing last week where they were struggling a little bit?
No, Missouri State, the Fighting Bobby Petrinos.
Yeah, Bobby Petrino's coming in, and they're like, like you see these things from time to time, especially college sports. So it happens. Look ahead is real. I will say also, this: Clemson has struggled in the first half with covering spreads. It could be one of those games where you look to fade Clemson first half, like I did against Texas when they play UTSA, and then you just want to get out of there before the second half comes, and typically that's when you see teams really separate themselves.
I will say I do see Wake Forest covering on this one. I'm not sure if I'll take them on the all-out victory, but I can see them covering. Clemson's defense, like their front four is good, but outside of that, I just don't know if they can really. They really haven't been tested in the passing game. This is their first test, so, and yeah, I think Wake can keep this close.
Yeah, I think Wake can keep it close too. Honestly, that's why I took them potentially on the upset alert, but that's why I wanted to at least take my points. So the next game is a game that probably isn't on a lot of people's radar, but has the potential to be an interesting game, and that is TCU versus SMU, the return.
The Iron Skillet Bowl.
The return of
Sonny Dykes.
Sonny Dykes. One of my favorite coaching names, Sonny Dykes.
Oh, that's a Texas football coach name right there. Like when you go to NCAA and you put in like a name, that's a Texas football coach. Like you put that name in the creator coach, you automatically get all the Big 12 schools.
Sonny Dykes. All right. Every time I take SMU in these small lines in these spots, Dave, they lose it at the end of the game every single time, man. Every single time. So I'm going to take Sonny Dykes. I'm going to take TCU. I know TCU's running with their backup quarterback. Was it Max Duggan, I think is his name? But we've seen him play before. He's a gamer. I'm not worried about that. SMU they're just still SMU. Like, I don't think you can depend on their defense. 70.5 is an interesting number.
These teams are scoring.
Yeah, I know. Part of me wants to take it, but SMU didn't get anywhere close to that last week in Maryland. But they're at home. They usually do play a little different at home. 70.5 is just, I don't know. Maybe I'm not as confident about it as I would have been if Sonny was in SMU, because those were the days, man. 70 would be nothing. But I feel like
I remember what you were saying.
Is going to play a little bit better.
I remember what you were saying earlier, though, in preseason about how the coach at SMU is a Sonny Dykes guy. He's still running pretty much the same systems and so forth. In rivalry game, like you said, these two teams, they're going to come out hot for this one. SMU's pretty much gonna empty the playbook for TCU because they want nothing more in the world than to like slap the mouth off them. I could see SMU getting 30. I can see this being legitimately a 35-32 game or a 35-40 game.
Well, it's gotta be 35-40 if I'm getting the over.
I mean, the over 70.
Yeah, but what did you say before? 35-32? That ain't enough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 35-40. I meant 35-40. Hey, my bad.
Your Florida education is showing.
Y'all see this. This is how I can't count.
You went to classes with Cam Newton. That's what that was. Joke's on you, though. Cam Newton didn't go to class. But that's why.
I went with the Pouncey twins. We sat in the back.
Oh, man.
Ain't do no work.
It should be a high-scoring, up-tempo game. Should be very spirited. Again, Sonny Dykes returning, coaching SMU or TCU. That is a rivalry game. So when your coach goes to the rival school, you feel some kind of way. Should be hostile. And I'm going to lay it with TCU. I'm going to lay the 2.5. Just because, like I said, my personal experience in betting SMU on these small lines, I get burned in the end. So I'm trying to flip that luck, but with my luck, it'll be the other way around. It'll be Sonny Dykes blowing it for me on TCU. But like I said, it's not a game that's popping up on people's radars, but I really think it will be one of the more interesting games.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say, this is gonna be must-watch TV just for like the chippiness of how this will be. I was about to ask you, what's the over/under of personal fouls, like them 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalties? Because I got about 8.
It depends on what kind of refs they got. Because some of these, like in college nowadays, man, these refs ain't playing no games. They be ready to attack somebody for real.
That is true. It's like
real quick. But that
helmet looked a little too close to your helmet targeting.
I expected to start out pretty chippy, and then the refs just kind of impose themselves. So we'll see how it goes. Baylor versus Iowa State. Again, another game that might not pop up on radars. Won't be as entertaining as the aforementioned first 2 games that we had. I did not intentionally skip over the Wolverines and Terrapins. I just don't think it'll be that competitive. But this game,
you don't think Baby Tua got something for him?
But this game has some implications in the Big 12, and a lot of people are fading Baylor for Iowa State.
I do not see. I think Baylor's defense is enough to get this job done. I know Iowa State's undefeated. They beat Iowa, but who else? Both the other wins aren't really impressive either. And I know Baylor lost to BYU, but that was overtime on the road. Playing at BYU is not the easiest place to go, especially early in the season. I can see Baylor coming and bouncing back with a pretty solid win over Iowa State.
I mean, they need to win here. They need to win. I think they're the better team. They just need to show it though. Like this is a tricky spot because the Cyclones can be tough at home, and they've got a defense that matches up well against this Baylor offense. If Baylor can establish some kind of passing game that will make Iowa State respect them, this will be a long day for them.
Yeah. I will say also, I do think Baylor has the better of the better coach.
Yeah.
Like when games on the line, I trust David Randall a lot more than I trust Matt Campbell. Because it shouldn't have taken you this long to beat No Iowa.
All right, and this is the point of the show where I point out that Kansas is finally favored in a game against a Power 5 school. I gotta put it up there, man. I gotta put it up there. I wasn't gonna put it up there, but
it's gotta be up there.
Yeah,
we got undefeated Kansas.
We may never see this again. I'm not even
Bro,
gonna put
we got undefeated
under.
Kansas versus Duke. What is this? 2012? What is this, college tip off?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna put the over under because it doesn't matter. Kansas is favored in a game, and believe it or not, I think they'll cover. People are fading them, but Duke hasn't been good at all this year.
I got Kansas running them out the gym on this one.
Yeah,
especially with who Kansas is beating. All right, you beat a decent Houston team. Like I know we don't like Dana on this podcast.
I will borderline disagree there because Houston has been grossly underachieving. But I mean
they're underachieving.
To lose. Yeah, they were expected to lose.
Yeah, but everyone thought Houston was going to win that game. But and then you go to West Virginia and just give them the whooping. They stole their lunch money in West Virginia. They came back to the crib with all $5 in their pocket with that one. So yeah, the quality of opponent that Kansas has just played and just delivered whoopings on, I just think they're too much of a match for Duke because Duke's 3-0, but it's an 3-0.
History has been made. I'm laying it with Kansas. Can't believe it. Just sentimental value. I'm on.
First time anyone's laid money with Kansas in September, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is not January. This is not November. Yeah. It's actually football season.
It's actually happening. Just want to take a brief time out to say that Boise State sucks. I can't believe it.
Real quick.
Yeah.
What's the chances of Brian Harsin getting fired at Auburn midseason and ending up with the Boise State job next year? Because Boise State ain't going to be tolerating this losing.
I mean, I don't think he's coming back.
Why not?
What is it? Peterson. When he left Boise State, and his tenure ran out at Washington, he ain't going back to no smaller school, man. When these guys get to these bigger schools, they don't usually go back to these smaller schools. They'll go join a Bama staff or something like that before they
Gus
go
went
back
to a smaller school.
Who?
Gus.
Yeah, he's different. If beating Bama is on my resume, why would I go to UCF? That doesn't make any sense.
Man wants to go to the cheaper version of Tampa. That's why.
That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, next Notre Dame versus UNC. We got comments. Oh snap! It's the menace. Benjamin is in the house. Notre Dame versus UNC. UNC favored about 2.5. Over under is 55.5. How could anybody have any confidence in either one of these teams against the spread right now? I will say UNC at home is typically money. UNC overs at home are typically money too.
I've also seen UNC actually put up some points this year.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, I think we were talking about this last week. When was the last time Notre Dame's had actual dudes in the skill position? And they're on a backup quarterback? Nah, dog. Nah. And the first string quarterback is trash too? Nah.
It is a little interesting to see.
Give me the fighting Michael Jordans.
Yeah. Ben's got Notre Dame, and he doesn't know. You know why, Ben? Because you hate Mac Brown. I don't want to lay it, but I'll take the over 55.5 just out of curiosity. I just think that's really low for a UNC home game, man. And the tempo is going to be there. It's not like UNC is like shut down defense, even with a bad offense coming to town, man. Like they're not known to be getting a lot of stops. And these are the type of games where Mac Brown somehow makes it closer than what it should be. So I kind of like the over here.
And Gene Chizik, defensive coordinator and genius, averaging the worst defense in the ACC.
Oh man, look, I don't
Man
know.
gave
I
up
don't know what I
40 and
don't
a
know what's going
quarter.
on. I don't know what's
Man
going
gave
on
up
with these people.
40 and a quarter to a G5 team. Granted that G5 is App State, but still a
That
quarter.
was that was crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's because App State's not they're a plotting team, and it looked like they had some tempo that game because they're just getting so many chunk plays. It's really weird. Um, this is a game that I am very interested in from a gambling aspect. Minnesota visiting Michigan State. Michigan State getting 3 over under 50.5. So I have an angle here, and it's probably not a popular opinion. This does sometimes apply to professional sports more than college sports,
Is it
but
nickel
there's
coaches don't matter?
no, we
Oh, touche.
some nickel coaches don't matter. But there are scenarios, there are times where I feel like you can look at a team, look at the talent that they have, the projected expectations for their season, look at their games to a certain extent, like the results of the games, and you can logically say that statistically speaking, or if you believe in probabilities, the probability of Michigan State being a 1-3 team, is it 1-3? I think 1-3, 2-3, or whatever. The probability of Michigan State having as bad of a game as they had against Washington, against Minnesota at home, I think is very low. I don't think
Yeah.
Michigan State should be getting 3. I think at worst this should be a pick 'em. I think that Vegas is expecting people to overreact from how bad Michigan State looked against Washington
And didn't
and
they
how
claw
good,
their way
and
back?
yeah, a little bit they did, and how good Minnesota has looked so far. But I will say Michigan State's still pretty stout against the run. Minnesota has lost their best receiver. The next guy up has like less than 300 yards total in his career. And then I think I know Tanner Morgan's been around for a while, but we've also haven't seen him really dominate people through the air. So I expect a lot of ground.
Great value, Sean Clifford.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
I have no faith in Tanner Morgan. That man is great value, Sean Clifford.
yeah, and I think there's going to be a lot of ground attack going here, which in my mind favors Minnesota. I mean Michigan State. I've got Michigan State outright. Yeah, and they're giving 3, so I would buy the hook to 3.5. But I really like Michigan State outright. It's not even a true fade of Minnesota. This is their first true road game, and it's a road game in the conference against a bigger program, and a program that's going to be angry because of the result that they had last week. And if you look at the Washington game, if you didn't catch the Washington game, you can look at the stats of the Washington game, and I can go over it with you real quick too, just to kind of beat the point home again. If you look at the stats, Washington only ran for a little over 100 yards on 29 carries. So it wasn't the rush defense. It wasn't the rush defense. They had their 2 running backs had 29 carries and 105 yards.
Ooh,
So
so
it
you're
wasn't
talking
it
about
wasn't the rush defense. However, their quarterback threw the ball 40 times and had 397 yards and 4 touchdowns. So again, I don't think Minnesota is capable of moving the ball through the air like that, and because of that, I feel like this is a good game to back Michigan State money line. I actually will probably put that in one of my like Hail Mary parlays. I try to do a Hail Mary parlay with some underdogs. My upset alert people. I'm not going to put Wake Forest in there, but I think Michigan State is a good money line bet this week.
as well as every time we've seen Tanner Morgan take pressure, and especially last year, one game I noticed last year when Ohio State got pressure to him, he got very erratic with his passing.
Yeah,
There, you're able to force turnovers quickly, especially if you can get pressure. And Michigan State's a lot more physical on the defensive line. Both lines are a lot more physical than Minnesota's. So winning the trench battle, getting pressure to Tanner Morgan, I think they'll also be able to create some turnovers as well, get some good field position, and get some quicker points.
as always, our lines come from mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag is the group sponsor. If you want to place bets and you want to place bets in Virginia on Virginia teams, as in if you want to fade Virginia teams, you cannot do that on FanDuel. You cannot do that on DraftKings. You cannot do that on MGM. But you can do that on mybookie.ag. That's a pretty good promo. Join mybookie.ag. Use promo code IB Sports. You get a good rollover, get a good bonus match, etc. And I think their lines are pretty friendly, all things considered. My next game, I'm only doing this because Water Pistol Pat's out.
Hey, it's two ranked teams
No.
with a bunch of asterisks.
No, I have an honest question.
All right.
How does it feel to know that you beat a team like 10 times in a row and then you just wake up one season and you're a 11-point dog almost? Like, how does that feel? Is that not an indication that your program is taking like leaps backwards?
No, I'm not worried. How many times have we seen Tennessee get propped up, ranked high in the first three games? All right, they beat Pitt in overtime on a backup quarterback on a game that they really should have lost because Pitt kind of should have won that game. Let's be honest. All right, they beat Akron. They beat Ball State? Yeah, I don't trust Tennessee. Has Tennessee ever done anything to be trustworthy? I'm not saying Florida's trustworthy, but I think Florida's still got a little more talent, and they're better in the trenches.
Y'all trash.
We're both trash.
Your coach is trash.
I mean,
one offense always shows up. That's all I do know. If Florida beats Tennessee outright, that is a good win for them. I will say that. I will say that out loud. It's
a good win.
Yeah, if Florida beats Tennessee, that is a good win for them. And it's also a sign of the times that would be a good win for Florida.
I mean, Tennessee aren't they supposed to be like contenders in the East? You see the air quotes, people? Contenders in the East. They're not. Also, pass defense on Tennessee, pretty poor. Rush defense.
Quarterback play on Florida, pretty poor.
Yeah, that's true. But we don't got to run. We don't got to throw the ball. Just run it. Ain't nobody even able to stop it.
All right. Florida's plus 310 on the money line. So if you agree with Ben and you think Florida wins outright, throw that in there. 3-1.
I mean, no matter, there's been a few times, like in recent years, where Tennessee's been favored, and you know what? They always find a way to F it up. First year, Dan Mullen was head coach. Tennessee, favored. I think they were favored by like 7. Got blown out the water. They had Hendon Hooker last year. They had the same team last year against a trash Florida team. You know what happened? Got the brakes beat off them.
Now, I agree to somewhat. Like, I don't trust either team.
I'll trust Florida has talent a bit better.
I would be more inclined to trust Florida to cover the 10 than Tennessee to cover it, but
the Heaves to Cleve will come back.
It's not a game. It's not a game I'm running to the window for, man. Matter of fact, let me check. I honestly thought, like, when I looked at Action Sports earlier today, to kind of see what people were saying as far as like where they were pushing the money to, I swear a lot of people were all over Tennessee still. Like, they were getting hammered. Let's check. Nope, it's not really that bad. You guys are good.
I'll say this too. I think the pass defense for Tennessee has been very bleh. I think this is actually the game. Excuse me. That Florida's passing game bounces back on.
Right,
I think last week was an overlook
of your nonsense. Bill Napier is not a good coach, bro.
The man had 3 10-win seasons in the
He's
Sun
not,
Belt.
and he's not a good game manager. He's not a good game managing coach. Like these last couple games have shown that I think he might be a little in over his head here.
It's a learning. It's his like 3rd week on the job.
Yeah,
I mean, James Franklin has issues game managing. Ain't nobody taking that away from him.
Yeah, but
I mean, Jim Harbaugh too.
That's what you want to be, James Franklin and Jim Harbaugh. Awesome.
I mean,
we're on to JMU versus Appalachian State. App State is laying 7, over unders at 57.5. I thought I saw that over under. Man, I swear I saw that at a lower number today before I left, and it sucks because I'm not going to be able to see my my sheet unless I'm not going to be able to see my sheet until I get back to work, because I swear to you I wrote all this down. I had a whole sheet of bets I was going to do. So now
Nichols swearing they were prepared for something.
I know, man. I don't know what happened. It was wild. But let me see what this total was. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong game. All right, never mind. Sorry, y'all. I was looking at the Florida, so I was like, dang, it went up to 62. No. I like the over here. That was my first initial thought, was the over.
App State can put up some points.
Yeah, they can. They can also have the ball not bounce their way. They've gotten lucky.
They've gotten lucky, but no game that they've been in where a team has had more talent than them, and they've had all the disadvantages of being on the road, and probably better coaching, air quotes. They've always been in it. Like, they were right there with UNC. Gave it to A&M in College Station. Yeah, they got lucky last week, but this team's got that dog in them, man.
Yeah, all right. App State has not covered the spread being favored in 2 of their 3 games. In fact, App State, if you go back to last year, they didn't cover any of their spreads as favorites in December. They didn't cover the spread in the first game as a favorite against UNC. They covered the 18 against A&M, and they didn't cover the 14 last week against Troy. Fading App State for me, and I'm putting them on upset alert. You can't keep missing the number, man, and thinking you're gonna keep just getting by, man. They won on a miracle play last week, man.
All right, they won on a miracle play, but they still gave it to Texas A&M.
Yeah, they did, and they were probably up for that game, and I just think this team is a little lazy right now. I'm telling you, man. I don't like it.
This is JMU's the best team JMU's ever played. Well, yeah, JMU's actually gonna be up for this one. I just want to know if they're in over their heads, because they're a very good team, James Madison. Yeah. I just want to know, are they, App State best in their conference team? Are they ready for that just yet?
Well, we gonna see. And I think that upset alert on App State. I got them as my I think they're my second upset alert. Well, I'll let you know once I'm done with this. Do we have to
take that over though?
Game? Oh yeah, I'm taking it over.
I'm taking that over.
Hold on, we got some comments. I know Ben's talking. Let's see. Yeah, see. They have been. I'm for real. They've been fortunate. We're not worried about what Jamal taking, man. Jamal, if you listen, you're a bum.
He on upset alert too.
You're a bum. Clemson a bum. But
Boogala.
Texas versus Texas Tech. The spread is actually up to 7, which I thought makes more sense. It makes more sense for it to be a touchdown.
In Lubbock. Yeah.
I don't know why this. Yeah, but I don't know why this was 5.5, man. I totally disagree with that.
It was 3 earlier this week, which is weird.
Well,
it was like 3 on Wednesday.
I didn't see that. Let me check, because I can see the line movement. I thought it was 5. I thought it was 5.5 when I watched it all week. But let me check on that.
To be fair, I don't think it was a MyBookie.
No, it just shows like line movement in general. Let's see. You said earlier this week.
I think like Wednesday or something it was around 3. Or to be fair, I might have been looking at another game and I just can't read.
No, looks like it might have been
Yeah.
at some point it gotten down. So I don't think they can stop Bijan, and
No, no.
there's nothing left to say to that. I watched them play NC State last week with the idea of fading Texas in mind this week, but I didn't see enough for me
They're
to.
not physical
I got
enough.
Texas versus Texas. That's funny. But yeah, I was gonna say I didn't see enough for me to
They
support
are
that.
just not physical enough for like stop like that Texas run game at all.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't.
Because North Carolina State just threw them aside like a rag doll.
Yeah, and the over under 61, you can play it if you want to. I'm not.
Urgh.
I'm not messing with it.
Nah.
It doesn't matter. Just hand the ball off. It's that simple. Just hand the ball off.
Yeah, y'all got Bijan. Just that man's what Heisman semifinalists are preseason. Yeah, just let that man get 250 yards on the ground. Don't do nothing
Um,
stupid.
yeah, Texas is 3-0 against the spread. Let's see. They covered the 13. They covered the 37.5, and they covered the plus 21. Yeah,
Wait, did they did cover the UTSA game?
yeah.
Well, I thought the
It,
line on that.
it was 41-20. I took UTSA first half. They didn't cover the first half.
That's true. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. UTSA kind of like just gave
Also,
up in the third.
I know people probably like, bro, nobody listening to you. You're not a professional gambler. Gambling tip here. The weeks like the Bama game, seeing Bama versus Texas helped me make that bet because I saw the emotion that went into it and the energy that went into it. But that's a prime fate spot when you have a team like Texas got really high. Any team, honestly, you have a rivalry game that really hype, and then the next game they get this team that's just happy to be there and wants to shock the world, and that team comes out and hits them in the mouth and makes it tough for the first half. And then after that first half, guys go into the locker room, make adjustments, and come back out and be like, all right, we done playing. You see that a lot in college sports for sure, especially college basketball. I use that logic when I took UTSA spread and money line first half last week. Didn't get the money line they pushed, but I'm cool with that. I still got the spread, so it was worth it. So anytime you see scenarios like that, situations like that, it's a good idea to really jump on it. Let's see. We got a couple crazy games. I'm not going to drag people through Toledo and San Diego State. Nobody really wants to see that. But this is my upset alert game here. Let's see. Does that mean it's time to fade Aggie after a huge win versus Miami? I actually am fading them, but that's just me.
Air quote huge win.
Yeah.
Man, Miami wasted their Delta airline miles to kick 3 field goals. If they don't get out my face.
We talked a lot of trash about the Pac-12 going into this season, but quietly, it has been one of the more interesting conferences because we don't really know who's the best team here. Who is the best team? Because in the beginning of the season, the consensus was USC.
It was USC and Utah. They were the favorites for the
Utah. Yeah, but Washington
for the Rose Bowl
looked pretty sturdy. Washington State has quietly been a competitive team, and they went to Wisconsin.
Road win.
Yeah, they went to Wisconsin and beat Wisconsin. I'm still not a believer in Bo Nix. This is actually my top upset alert play right here. I'm going to put them at the top of my my parlay. I think Washington State can squeak out a win.
Yeah, I think BYU.
I mean, seriously, it's true. Like, and if we're being honest, there's 2 teams on upset alert in the Pac-12, Oregon and my boys from USC. Yeah, I know. And I'm a little nervous.
Also, USC has a history of going to a Corvallis and coming home disappointed.
Yeah,
they've got a pretty big history when the Beavers actually get a little bit of something going, just a little bit. USC's kryptonite.
Let me check this
I will say this.
Oregon schedule. I think we're in a good spot here.
I will say this for
Oh, no.
the Ducks. I think they caught BYU at the right time so that when it looks better than what it is, because BYU, like you said, they came off an emotional win. They beat Baylor at home the week before,
Mhm.
and you know Oregon is trying. They had to save face in that game. Like they had to win that one. That was we can't.
It's 50-50 on the money line. 50, I mean 50-50 on the spread. And the sharp money, according to the percentages on my bookie, are skewed toward Washington State. So Washington State is getting 6% more of the money in relation to the percentage of bets that they have placed on them. So people are putting more money and confidence into Washington State. I like Washington State here. I would buy it up to 7 for the push, but again, I'm going outright, man. I know people are like, some people might be like, yo, you crazy. It's 2-1. I'm 2-0 on outright upsets anyway, and I think this is a good spot to try it. I'm not a big believer in Bo Nix, and I think Washington State has the athletes on defense to really give this Oregon Ducks team a fit. And I think BYU was a little shell shocked. I don't think Washington State, especially when you go to Wisconsin and you win like they did, and it was a grind out tough win. They didn't get pushed around by what is typically a traditionally stronger team in the trenches, and just overall, they didn't get bullied. And I feel
No.
like that goes a long way. And hosting Oregon in this fashion is definitely a big boost for them.
Oh, and it's what it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, no, it's time for Bo Nix to like throw 2 or 3 picks,
Yeah.
or like 2 picks and a fumble. It's like clockwork, baby. Bo Nix about to Bo Nix.
17.5 point dog and won outright at Wisconsin. It's got to stand for something. Got to
Yeah.
stand for something. Meanwhile, Oregon obviously destroyed by Georgia, covered Eastern Washington and covered BYU. But those are two teams that I would say are not nearly the caliber of Washington State. So I'm going with the upset here
Also, I think the
outright.
BYU game, it's a very skewed win. Like you said, came off of Baylor,
Mm-hmm.
like that emotional high, like what you just said earlier about the Texas Bama game. Came off an emotional high. It was in Oregon. Oregon kind of had to win that one back to the wall type thing. Like if they lose this, they kind of throwing away a lot of what they're playing for in the season.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So next game, we kind of talked about this Arkansas, and does anybody call it Arkansas?
People in Kansas and Arkansas, don't
Oh,
they?
I don't know. I didn't hear that when I was up there. I was just making a joke, but they probably do. You
I'm
know,
about to say, Nickel, weren't you there?
yeah, I wasn't really comfortable with talking while I was there. I think it was just better for me to keep a low profile.
I mean, to be fair, yeah,
I was,
it's
we
it's
were right.
Arkansas.
We were right in Fayetteville. It just didn't seem like a smart thing to run around and run my mouth.
I
Um,
mean, to be fair, Fayetteville is better than College Station. I'll say it
yo,
every time.
so we got these Aggies, man. My man, my man Jimbo's got one foot in the grave. I don't care what Ben thinks. He's
No,
got one foot. And there's rumors here. Of course, the Urban Meyer rumors are coming in hot. Coming in hot. Fayetteville was awesome for me. But
Ben's so still mad about that.
A&M is favored by 2. Over under is 50. This is a neutral site game. This is at Jerry World. That's something
Yep.
I forgot to mention. Yeah, I'm going with Arkansas out right here.
Honestly, Arkansas might beat the brakes off A&M. We have not seen any situation where A&M has actually been able to get any offense going. All right, the defense is solid, but all right, KJ Jefferson, still one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. Arkansas has been shown where they can move the ball, they can be physical in both sides of the trenches. I just don't. And Sam Pittman, he's a lot ballsier than Mario Cristobal. He's not just gonna settle for 3. He will not go to the red zone every time and settle for 3 if he needs.
So here's the thing. Like if we can get bro, 85 million, I don't care. Nobody cares. You know why they don't care? Because winning is what they want to do, and winning is what they have to do. If also, people keep decommitting and all this other stuff, they just have to do something. All right. Yeah. So yeah, it's not gonna be a beat in the brakes off of them. Here's my take on it. A&M ain't moving the ball through the air. Like they're just not. No. And Arkansas is quietly at this point in the season, I think the best or top 2 or 3 against the run in the SEC, which goes for something. A&M, I think, isn't as tough against the run as people want to make it out to be. And the one thing that Arkansas can do is grind out and run the ball. I think it just matches up better for Arkansas. Being neutral site definitely helps. Definitely helps. But I'm just saying, listen. We just seen a program sabotage themselves to get rid of a coach. If Urban Meyer said right now, I want to be the next coach of Texas A&M, and Texas A&M
ain't that crazy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that Texas A&M has lost to Arkansas and turns around and loses to Alabama, they'll get rid of him. They'll get rid of him.
God, that is next week.
Yep, they'll get rid of him.
Is that next week?
Stretch. I think Mississippi State might be in between that. But let me double check. But I think it's a tough stretch for the Aggies.
Oh God, that's right.
At least they did win against Miami. Otherwise, that would have
Miami sucks too.
Yeah, but it would have made it a lot quicker. Yeah, it's Mississippi State, then Bama.
Oh,
so.
Oh,
and
God.
They traveled to Mississippi State. So.
Oh, that's gonna be oh God, no.
He was owed reparations. But now,
no, A&M might be in some real trouble. They might go 6-6 this year. They really might. Because there's a decent, I'd say there's like a 50% chance they go through that 3-game stretch 0-3.
They're already a 16-point dog to Bama.
No, it's gonna be more than 16. You know, especially all that jawing that they've been doing over the summer. No, Saban's plotting a whooping for him.
Man,
Saban is saving. Saban's got a nuclear weapon made for him.
When your gas goes up to $6 a gallon, you're gonna know that Texas A&M has that money. Ben, just so you know.
Well, it already did.
Yeah, that's how they got the NIL. The gas prices went up, and then once that heat got on, then the gas prices went back down. But if they need that buyout, we're gonna be paying at the pump. But no, he's right. I mean, 85 million is pretty excessive. But either way,
I mean, has the Aggies ever been logical? Let's be honest. Has the Aggies ever been logical?
Nope. Give me A&M. A game that I'm not gonna put up here, but we just gotta. It's just gotta be done. Hold on. It's gotta be done. No, this is crazy to me. This is crazy to me, and I'm going to. I'm actually thinking about putting this as a upset alert, as well as a in a money line parlay. Why is Iowa favored by 8.5 against Rutgers? I know Rutgers is
not even going to score 8 points.
They're not going to score 8. They're going to score 6. So why is this an 8.5 point spread? Like, what is going on? Let me tell you about
undefeated.
Yeah, I think so.
That's more than Iowa can say.
Yeah, look, Rutgers is. So here it is. Rutgers is 3-0. They're 3-0. And they have played absolutely nobody other than Boston College. But at home, they've always been a tough out. Iowa, on the other hand, has played 3 home games, and they have scored a combined 41 points, but 27 of that came against the worst Nevada team in the world. They played San Diego State and only scored 7 points at home against San Diego State. They played Iowa State and only scored 7 points. If they're
And wasn't
playing,
the
if they're
Nevada game
playing
like
Rutgers,
wasn't the Nevada game like a weather delay too?
yeah. Oh, so
This
you guys want to know the over under? 34. The over under is 34. I didn't put it up. I didn't put it up here because I just feel like nobody's even going to consider betting the under. But
if Jesus played for Iowa, they can't get 34 points. That ain't getting no.
I've been gambling. I've been gambling college football for I think this is my 8th year. I've never seen a spread or over under that low. And I routinely bet service schools, Army, Navy, Air Force, like San Diego State, like teams that don't move the ball unless they're literally going like a turtle. And I've never seen 34. I've seen games in snow and torrential downpours in wind gusts 45 miles like an hour, like those action games in the middle of November be like brick.
Wait, and the West Virginia and NC State Hurricane game had more points than 34.
34. And the crazy part is you can't even trust Iowa to do anything. That's crazy, man. 34 is crazy. But yeah, let me get a shot at Rutgers, man. The money line's plus 270. Plus 270. It's worth it. Like so my mentality this week is some of these games are worth the shot. And by worth the shot, I mean just a percentage of your pot. So if let's say I'm a $100 a game better, worth the shot, 30-40% of my pot. Like on like if my unit is $100, I'll put 30 to 40% of a unit on these 2-to-1, 3-to-1s that have a legitimate shot. Rutgers has a legitimate shot. They might not win, but based on what Iowa has done on offense, how Rutgers plays the game in general, this is going to be it's not going to be a rock fight. It's going to be two fucking Rams just butting heads against each other. But
it's going to look like a World War I trench.
Yeah,
they're just going to be sitting there shooting at each other.
I really like the idea of Rutgers maybe pulling this off. So, and like I said, I just highlighted this game because when I was going through and looking at games, I was like, how are they favored by more than a touchdown? Like, that's crazy.
Also, Rutgers has the better quarterback play because what's the guy? Spencer, I forgot his last name at Iowa, but he is garbage.
Yeah, I think he's got the lowest PFF grade of all time.
Yeah, it's in this. It's barely above single digits, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's boo boo. He's like Nathan Peterman in the NFL. Boo boo.
You know, I would have I skipped Ohio State.
I was about to say
Ohio State.
I mean, Graham Mertz is a half step above the guy from Iowa, so Ohio State by 30.
I try not like this. I'm sick of these dress rehearsals, man. Can we just get like Ohio State should just play Michigan and then go straight to the playoffs?
Honestly, I don't even think Michigan's their toughest game.
It's the only game I want to see. It's not even about it being their toughest. It's the only game I want to see. Unless they do whiteout against Penn State, then I do love to see them sweat.
Oh no, that is gonna be the whiteout. You know, Penn State. I mean, the Penn State game in Happy Valley is the only one where I can actually have a decent percentage of them maybe either sweating or losing, because Michigan get about to catch it, looking for their head, but barring it like Ohio State having some catastrophic injuries, Michigan catching a whooping in Columbus. You know they pissed off.
So yawn. Hate to say it, Chase, Marcus. I know y'all looking. I usually go to God damn it, man. That's Dino's fault. Hold on. Y'all, let me interrupt this real quick and get Oscar. This is Dino's fault. Dino kicked 3 inexplicable field goals. He kicked the field goal on a 4th and 1 or
no,
or 4th and 2 or something like that on like the 7-yard line. Like This is how you lose football games. People be thinking I'm crazy, but like this is how you lose football games. There's
I
no
knew I made the
reason. There's
I
no
knew I made
reason
the
to
right
pick that.
decision to play FIFA instead of watch that game.
There's no
I knew I
reason to
made the
pick
right
that.
decision.
But I mean, Syracuse is in the position to go ahead with the field goal, but this game shouldn't even be that close. It's really
No,
annoying.
again, what did I say in the
But
chat?
but back
Virginia
to
should
this.
be getting beat like Thomas Jefferson slaves.
Back to and Boise State, who I had scoring over 31, is now down 10-3. 16 and a half point dog to UTEP. UTEP. God.
Yeah, I told you. Y'all better call Brad Harsin when he get fired.
I did also give a disclaimer and say that these Friday night games be wild sometimes. But let me get to this game. Again, I apologize, Chase and Marcus. Like y'all know how I am, man. We we like I'm like the guy that comes. I'm the
He's
boyfriend
the
of
time
your.
hater.
No, I'm the boyfriend of your sister that comes over at Christmas and you don't really like me, but you tolerate me. And then when I leave, y'all talk about me. That's me, man. You know,
He
that's me.
drank up all the Hennessy and the cognac
Yeah,
at the Christmas party
and
like a nickel.
I say this with the most love in my heart. Y'all motherfuckers ain't covering enough for me, man. Ryan Day ain't doing it for me. I gotta kind of lean to Wisconsin. They're so pedestrian. I don't know if they're going to score enough for 19 and a half. Like I could really see a 21-0 game. but I like the under here. I like the under here, even though Wisconsin don't got the athletes to really keep up with Ohio State. I just think it'll be a slower paced game than what Ohio State likes to run. And Ohio State's defense is has been a little bit better anyway this year. So I kind of like the under more than I want to take my points with Wisconsin.
It's going to look a lot like that Notre Dame game, except I don't think at any point Wisconsin will be in the lead.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that 21-10, 27-10. Yeah, because Graham Mertz is not good. Graham Mertz is not good.
No, he's not. He's not good.
He is trash. Man, what's with these Big Ten West teams? Can y'all not find a quarterback? Like,
I don't know.
Who's the last good Wisconsin quarterback? Was it really Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I think so.
God dang,
I think so,
man.
but I mean, it's just their style of play. It's not really that important, I guess. But I know I'm. It's not Ohio State's fault that everybody else can't catch up. Like I just don't want to see this game. I'd rather watch Maryland and Michigan, which is sad. Michigan State and Minnesota. I'd rather watch that.
I'd rather watch Penn State and Central.
Yeah,
Michigan.
I was going to say Penn State, Central Michigan. This is like my least favorite game of the week. Wisconsin versus Ohio State. It's going to be a snooze.
And did they have the nerve to put that at the 7:30 time slot? Is that the ABC?
Yeah.
Like the oh god dang it, Kirk Herbstreit, this is your fault.
It is the 7:30 ABC slot.
Kirk, this is Kirk Herbstreit. If you ever hear this one day, this is all your fault. We know you just like to go back to your alma mater. Now look what you've got us doing. You've got America watching this crap.
All right. And the last game, this line just keeps dropping down. And you know what, people? I don't care. All y'all some haters. Get out my face. Jeff, if you listen to this or if Ben's texting you while we're talking, I've never felt so disrespected and betrayed by a friend as today when you was like, yo, Beavers. And I was like, yeah, Beavers, thinking that they were playing Utah and they're playing my first love, USC. I'm not fading USC. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. I don't care about the numbers. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it.
I'll say this.
I'm not going to do it.
USC ain't stopping them on no defense.
All right. I'll say this. I bet you they do.
You know USC ain't got no defense. Come on now, stop playing. USC ain't got
the defense. Like, why do you need defense if you score 40, 45 points?
Because Oregon might score 35.
Yeah.
And again, a decent Oregon State team has been USC's kryptonite every time.
When I say everybody and their mama who's a gambler capper is picking Oregon State. I mean it. They're getting 17%. So the highest total discrepancy between or differential between betting percentage and money percentage that I've seen on a week-to-week basis is typically around 20 to 25%. 20 to 25% is pretty extreme. Anything between 15 and 20 is another like key indicator that sharps are on this team. Right now, Oregon State discrepancy between the betting percentage and the money percentage is 17%. So I'm not happy about it. And the only data that I have, the only thing that I have going for me is last night, Georgia State's betting percentage was like 22%, and I still went with Coastal Carolina, and Coastal Carolina blew them out. But this isn't Coastal Carolina. This isn't Georgia State. I've watched Oregon State. I've been impressed with Oregon State. I've actually taken Oregon State in all three of their games, and in all three of their games, they have covered.
The only thing I'll say on this is I have confidence in. You better take that over. You better take that over, son.
Yeah, USC has been scoring, but
USC probably gonna put up 45 points. But at the same time, Oregon State might put up 35.
They've only had one game go over 70, and that was the game against Rice. Stanford and Fresno didn't go over. Stanford went over 66. It was 69 total, and Fresno was 71.5 over under, and it was 45-17. So
Stanford is here.
Looking at Oregon State, they've only had one game go over, and that was the game that they scored 68, which was last week versus Montana State. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've ever taken an under in a Pac-12 game unless it involved Washington or California anyway. So,
both of these teams are scoring 30. I guarantee that. Utah's not stopping them. I mean, not Utah. USC's not stopping them. And Oregon's going to have to play a lot of offense to keep up because USC is going to score every other possession.
Stop disrespecting my boy. Stop disrespecting Lincoln. Dalton, if you're hearing me out here in the universe, you can go to hell too. Lincoln all day, every day. I got USC by at least 10. Y'all going to see.
Oh, I got one game I want to bring up.
Yeah, go
ahead. Speaking of Dalton, you know who plays this weekend?
Oh, Kansas State.
Sooners in Oklahoma versus Kansas State. What's pull up the spread on that? Because I thought it was
the spread was like 11.5. Let me double check on it.
Yeah, I was about to say it wasn't terrible.
It did cross my games, but I was like, I don't think it'll generate a lot of action. Let me see. There's so many games on here.
And I just don't think Oklahoma hasn't been tested.
Man,
sorry, Jay.
They're in Oklahoma though.
And
what has Kansas State done?
Yeah, that's true. They lost to Tulane, but Tulane's good. Actually, Tulane's actually a decent team.
13.5 over under 53. 13.
I'll take the over. I will take the over.
Take the over.
And I think Kansas State covers.
Let's go. My man Dino closing it out in your face. Tony Elliott is terrible. I don't know. I know Kansas State had a letdown last week too. They were supposed to. Yeah.
I think that's a look ahead game though.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I was gonna say, that is a spot right there where those things happen. But
because Tulane actually has talent now. Like Tulane, if you put them on the wrong spot of your schedule, they will slap the color off your face.
But they only scored 10 points. Yikes.
I mean, you can't be betting. Like you said, they're college kids too. Like you can't trust 20-year-olds. 20-year-olds aren't trustworthy.
All right, I'm gonna give my play of the week for college. Play of the week. Drum roll, please, people. Play of the week. All right, Eastern Michigan. This is my play of the week.
Coming off a fresh win and a firing.
I know. It's more of a fade of Buffalo. Buffalo just hasn't looked good. And Eastern Michigan is pretty tough at home. Mac typically favors the home team. They should move the ball pretty efficiently. The over might be into consideration there as well.
Moved it on Arizona State just fine.
Yep. So
moved Herm up out the paint.
So Eastern Michigan 6. All right. If you are not been and you caught this, make sure you guys check out the YouTube channel. There's a good interview on there with me and a young man, Keith Showtime Shelton, who's a boxer, local boxer in Richmond. Some pretty good insight on the amateur circuit, what it's like for an amateur fighter coming through boxing. He's a 2-time Gold Glove winner at the state level and the regional level. Will be competing nationally and hoping to get on the Olympic team and then turn pro. So if you can, check that interview out. Also, the gambling podcast, Backdoor Cover, is back for NFL. And then also, You Got a Minute Fam is up. The NFL Recap Show is up. And as always, thank you to my guy, Water Pistol Pat, with the gun show.
Boom, 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 firepower.
Oh man, hey, somebody text me and asked me, was that are your sleeves representative of Florida's defense against Tennessee this weekend?
No, it's actually representative of Anthony Richardson's passing touchdowns.
Oh, okay. So there are none. I got it. Cool.
Yeah, see, there you
cool.
go. There you go.
Okay. All right. Well, we will catch you guys next week. Now, listen, again, I apologize for the show being on Friday. I had a lot of podcasts this week. It won't normally happen that way. I'll try to get back to doing Wednesdays. So we can catch some of the Thursday games, and then when Maction starts, maybe do like some special edition, like live Maction stuff. But we'll try to get a little bit more consistent with the schedule. Like I said, this week was kind of my fault. We're
gonna have some guests if Marcus don't have pink eye.
Yeah, we'll throw some fans on here. I still like to do rivalry week, where we bring 2 opposing fans on and have them give their reason why their team should win. So dang, he came on just to say that. So we'll figure it out. I think Red River would be good if we could get Dalton and Ben on, if Ben can not be biased, but we'll figure it out. Either way, this is IBN Yeezus, Water Pistol Pat signing off. We'll catch you guys next week.
All right, we out.